Please recognize big, bad cholesterol is so terrible for the human body that it is the key building block for all your cell membranes. Structure, integrity, fluidity, these are maintained via cholesterol. Without it, they are not. Cholesterol is essential as a precursor to create all your steroid hormones. That is how bad it is. We're talking testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol. Without cholesterol, those babies do not get created. It is necessary to produce vitamin D from the sunlight. You're out in Hawaii, laying on the beach, getting your sun on. Without cholesterol, you are getting zero vitamin D synthesis. No vitamin D is getting produced without cholesterol. On top of that, it's so bad, it is essential for brain youthfulness. 20% of the body's entire cholesterol supply is housed in brain tissue, enabling things like nerve development and communication via the nerves to the rest of the body. That is how problematic cholesterol is. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, be sure to do it. Send it to your friends. They need to know about cholesterol. And remember, this is educational. This is not medical advice. So how could you possibly expect to live your best, most youthful life if you are suppressing the body's ability to produce cholesterol? Great question. I liken it to someone saying, my shower water is too hot. Instead of asking, why is my shower water so hot? What can I do to adjust to make it cooler? That person says, turn off the water in the house. Go out in the garage, turn off the water. We can't have any water coming into the house. Perfect. The problem is solved. The water is no longer too hot because we have no water. And you say, but you need water for the toilet, for the dishes, for personal hygiene. And they say, no, the water's too hot. We need to keep it turned off. And what if instead of turning the water off, this would be kind of the common sense thing, so bear with me. What if instead of turning the water off, we just turn the water faucet to a lower temperature? Sounds like rocket science, right? In the case of cholesterol, the American medical model still says, no way, can't do it. It's not going to work. We're not going to turn the faucet down. That just doesn't work that way. We're not going to balance out the body. It doesn't work that way. The lower the cholesterol, the better. We can't make $13.15 billion annually off a single drug, a single statin medication, not all of them, a single one. If we let people know they can just adjust their food routine, they can just adjust their sleep routine, they can adjust their breathing patterns, or they can adjust their physical activity to optimize their cholesterol levels with no negative side effects. We cannot let them know that. We cannot promote that because that would really hinder our cholesterol lowering effects via these statins. Studies on cholesterol lowering medications, literally, they're sketchy at best. In the industrialized world, it essentially would fall apart. There would be a recession because 80 million people take these statin medications. If you cut that in half, we're talking massive loss of employment. The widespread use of statins employs tens of thousands of people. In light of that, consider that over a 5-year time frame, if 1,000 people were all taking statin therapy, 1,000 people all taking statin therapy, there would roughly be 13 less people having a heart attack amongst that 1,000. And there would be roughly 8 people newly diagnosed with diabetes because of taking statin medication. This sounds like a real winner, right? Over a 5-year time frame, potentially 13 less heart attacks in 1,000 people. So what happens when we adjust our food routine? We get zero side effects. We feel negative side effects, that is, because we have the side effect of feeling amazing, of feeling in control of our life. We have the side effect of keeping and producing hormones that sustain all manner of bodily functions. Our cell membrane integrity remains, and we also reduce our risk of cardiovascular disease and diabetes. And cardiovascular disease in particular, since we're talking about these cholesterol and statins, by 21% compared to consuming a predominantly processed food routine. This would be equivalent to about 10 fewer heart attacks per 1,000, with zero side effects and benefits to every manner of our life. I personally think that the 10 far higher than that, but there's not billions of dollars to be made in studying the benefits of long-term real food consumption. So we can only hypothesize that there's more, or that even the 10 are present. So how about the exercise, the effects of exercise, physical exertion on cardiovascular disease risk? This is going to be a tough one to stomach for those of you who do not enjoy regular physical activity. Regular physical activity is defined as 150 minutes of, say, brisk walking or cycling or even swimming on a weekly basis. And this 150 minutes, done consistently, reduces heart disease risk by 50%. Yes, 50%. And fascinatingly enough, the changes in cholesterol levels on lab tests, they're actually quite modest with regular physical exertion. But you get all the benefits of cardiovascular disease reduction. So maybe just lowering, suppressing, pushing down cholesterol isn't the big thing that we think it is. Maybe cholesterol isn't actually the enemy. Maybe it's the lifestyle. Maybe our lifestyle in the American industrialized world is potentially our bigger enemy. So in related to physical activity, consider this. I don't think I mentioned it yet, but there are about 812 cases of rhabdomyolysis from statin use annually. Rhabdomyolysis is basically where muscle fibers start breaking down too quickly, and the myoglobin, the protein from the muscle, floods the bloodstream, and there's too many proteins coming through the kidneys, and the kidneys go into failure. You get big muscle swelling. Often people, their quads are never the same, their biceps are never the same, their back muscles are never the same after that happens. Every time you add a medication to your list, it is your responsibility to ask, what is the risk to benefit ratio for me? Is there a lifestyle adjustment I can undertake to mitigate the risk that is high cholesterol? Why is my cholesterol high in the first place? Does it matter? Is there actually any quality or quantity of life difference in adding this medication to my life? It is paramount we ask these questions, as opposed to just saying, hey, take this drug for the next 40 years. Do I feel like tolerating the common side effects of this, in this case, statin medication, say muscle pain, the common ones I'm talking about, muscle pain, headaches, fatigue, digestive distress, sleep issues? Do I want to incur those? Am I okay with that? Do I want to increase the risk of diabetes, even if it's mild? Do I want to increase the risk of rhabdomyolysis, like I just discussed? Or do I want to take control of my time, my food, my activity levels, and go full throttle into this thing called health accumulation and experience what my body could be like, where it could go if it was truly fueled and supported with life-giving substance over and over again? I think you want the health accumulation. All right, I'm Dr. Matt. You can check out our latest handout below, and please subscribe, send it, share with your friends. We got to share this. There's 80 million people that I think at least half of those could literally tweak their food a little bit, tweak their activity a little bit, see amazing changes on their lab reports, and massively decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease. And they don't even know it. They need to know. All right. Talk to you guys and gals later.